Buenos dias and welcome to Cultural Insights lesson Central American Countries, Part 1. So you're looking at North America, and a lot of people don't know that Mexico, which I've put the label right across it on the left side where it says Norte, that's Mexico, and then it's stretching across the Gulf of Mexico there and touching Florida. A lot of people don't know that Mexico is not part of Central America. It is part of North America, Norte America. But who says? Who says that Mexico is part of North America and not part of Central America? What if we said that part of Mexico is part of Central America? Maybe a lot of Mexicans consider their part of the country part of Central America. I mean, I don't know. I have never asked them. I think I will. But you see, somebody makes this stuff up, and then if enough people believe it, then that's the way we all grow up learning it. Now, on the other end of Central America is Sudamerica. And so right in here, 7 states or 7 nations, 7 countries, these make up Centroamérica. Norte America, Central America, Sudamerica. And we are going to learn these countries today. Now, Mexico then on one end and Colombia on the other. So Central America is sandwiched between these two countries, Mexico and Colombia. These 7 nations have a lot going on in them. And here is a map that allows you to see that there are lots of mountains in Central America. And so you have to go prepared for the weather when you visit, and I hope that you will visit. This map is a little fuzzy, but I wanted to use it because I like the way it shows the mountains. And I want to make sure that I tell you, as fellow world travelers, make sure you dress for the climate when you go traveling. Because even though you may think, wow, I'm going down to the tropics, it's close to the equator, it's going to be hot down there. Well, really, it's not hot everywhere just because it's close to the equator. Up in the mountains, like 3,500 feet, 5,000 feet, because most of these aren't real high. It gets chilly up there. It gets into the 30s, so you've got to be ready. And really, they have 2 seasons, rainy and not rainy. So you have to think about that too. When you go down there, just remember, when you go down to the lowlands, many times it's hot and muggy and a lot of mosquitoes. The higher up you go, the fewer mosquitoes, and the colder the air at night. So these are the countries, these 7 nations, 7 states, or 7 Central American areas that by the end of today's lesson and the next, you'll be experts compared to everybody else, or compared to most people. So I've made some shapes of the states and laid them over the map so that we can practice these. So let's do that. There's Guatemala, Belice, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panamá. Guatemala, Belice, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua. Hey, when I hear people from England saying that country, they usually say Nicaragua. Costa Rica, Panama. Say them after me. Belice, Guatemala, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, or as my Costa Rican sister-in-law says, Costa Rica, Panama. Now, when I'm talking slow, I say Panama, But normally, if I'm talking at a faster rate, I and most Spanish speakers will say Panama. Instead of saying pana, we'll say pana, pana. Instead of pana, Panama. However, there is nothing wrong with saying Panama some of the time because that's normal Spanish too. It's just that most of the time at a regular speed we will say Panama. Belize, Guatemala, don't pronounce that, Honduras, El Salvador means the Savior, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama. I was talking to a guy when I was down in Panama a while back, and he worked for 40 years in the Latin American area, and especially in the Central American, the side with the Caribbean mainly. He's retired right now, but he spent 40 years helping people get hotels and restaurants started, and a lot of times they would have gambling facilities. And the lottery, la loteria, has been popular throughout Latin America for years and years, way before it became public and widespread in the United States. So during the 40 years that he helped set up the restaurants and the hotels there and watched the gambling facilities being put in, he saw a lot going on in the world of gambling, and so I knew he did, and I said, tell me something, does anybody ever win a lot of money? And he says, once in a while, somebody would win a bunch of money. Belize, Guatemala, Guatemala. Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, El Salvador, Honduras, Costa Rica, Belice, Panama, Guatemala, Nicaragua. One of the fun things that you'll run into when you go traveling through Central America is the way people have their menus spelled out. So we'll have a fun time looking at that. And we'll start in the section featuring trout. And I think it will make you want to go traveling so that you can have some fun, but not to make fun of people, but just to enjoy the many different things, including how they struggle with your language. So when you're thinking about struggling learning Spanish, hey, yes, learning language is always partly a struggle, but people struggle to learn yours too. So it's a two-way street. Let's try some more of this. Costa Rica, Panama, Guatemala, Nicaragua, El Salvador. See how good you're getting already? Belize, Honduras. Oh, wow, you're getting good. What can I say? You're fantastic. Well, let's try this. Say them after me now. Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama. All right, I'll see you soon in the next lesson, part 2 of Central American countries.